And just to clarify, since you've mentioned working class dogs, for people who may not realize or who are not 200 years old, that there are certain dogs that were bred to do certain jobs and tasks and activities. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
they just instinctively at this point are prepared for a certain amount of action and activity.
Well, we're all familiar with police dogs that many heroic police dogs have put themselves in the line of fire. Beagle.
Right?
So, Beagle is a hunting dog. It is a working class dog. And a lot of people think, oh, nice, cute Beagle puppy. But when they grow up, then they become destructive because they're a high energy dog that needs to work.
Welcome to CooLife Podcast, brought to you by TheRealThingDating.com. www.TheRealThingDating.com. I'm Eva John. I'm a former candidate for local government. I was a children's television entertainer, and I love this world, and I believe we should take care of each other and have a lot of fun along the way. Welcome to CooLife. Here we go.
And welcome to CooLife Podcast. I'm Eva John, and we are continuing with part 4 of my 4-part conversation with Dawn Drake, Veterinary Technician. Dawn, welcome.
Thank you, Eva.
And Dawn, please tell us if someone watching or listening is interested in reaching out to you with questions about their pet, what method should they use to get in contact with you?
They can email me at AnimalCareWithDawn@hotmail.com.
Thank you. And Dawn, when someone's getting ready to introduce a new pet to their home where there already is a pet, what preparations should be made for that new big step?
So, well, you do want to make sure before you introduce a new animal into your home that it is healthy. And if you do have other animals, that it doesn't have anything that can spread from the new animal to any existing pets that you do have in the house. And one thing to also really be cautious of when introducing a new dog or cat into your home, if you do have other pets, making sure that you do it in the proper way, making sure that, because sometimes, honestly, you can get a pet and they just will never get along. So you want to make sure that you do it slowly, the proper way, and you want to make sure that it's not stressing out your existing animal or your new animals.
Right. Now, some animals are more compatible, right? Some dogs will get along well with dogs, and cats sometimes get along well with cats. And they are a bit territorial, but does it depend more on personality, on how you can mix and blend dogs or cats or other animals together?
Absolutely. If you do have a more aggressive, high-strung pet and you're introducing it to a more relaxed household with pets that are older, let's say, more senior, you want to make sure that everybody's going to match together, and their personalities and their lifestyles have to match as well. Now, pets that as puppies and kittens were exposed to other puppies and kittens, they have a way better chance of getting along in a household than if you got a cat from a kitten, you just brought it home, and then 3 years later, you're bringing in another cat, and that cat is going to be like, what's going on? This is my territory. So the more you expose a young animal to other species of pets, the better they will get along with everybody in the long run, if you do want to have a multi-pet household.
Fantastic. Thank you. And with that, we're taking a break to talk about our sponsors and supporters. Please remember to write us with your comments. Write to info@CooLifeWorld.com. That's info@COOLIFE veterinarydoctor.com, and we will read your comments on a future show. Right now, we'll take a break to talk about our sponsors and supporters. We'll be back with more Pet Talk with Dawn Drake on CooLife Podcast.
Those lonely days of lockdowns and isolation are gone for good. Go to www.therealthingdating.com. That's www.therealthingdating.com. It's time to share. Share your time, share your life, share your love. www.therealthingdating.com. Join for free. Upgrade at any time, starting at just $5.99 a month. www.therealthingdating.com. Because it's time. Becoming the Small Business Billionaire by Russell T. Dalton. Available on Amazon. Link in the description. $13.95 US. This is your guide to the possibility of making your dreams of generational wealth come true through small business ownership. Change your life and the lives of those you care for. Spiritual Warfare Prayers by John Evans, $13.99 US, available on Amazon. Link in the description. Putting on the spiritual armaments to thrive in this world. These are fresh prayers for today's world. $13.99 US, available on Amazon. See the link in the description. Spiritual Warfare Prayers. You're listening to the CooLife Podcast. We'll be back in 3, 2, 1.
And we are back on CooLife Podcast. I'm Eva John, continuing my conversation with Dawn Drake, veterinary technician. Dawn, in a home where there's already a cat and someone wants to introduce another cat, I know one of the characteristics of cats is that they are territorial. They've got those sweet little faces and they curl up in a round ball, and you don't think of them as having conflict. But when it comes to a new cat coming into their territory, what should a pet owner do to be prepared to smooth the way for those cats living together?
We just don't want to put them directly in a situation that's going to stress out either cat. Introducing them slowly, and a great way to do that is one is in one room, one is in another room, and they get to smell each other through the bottom of the door. They might put a paw playfully under the door, and seeing how that situation works out. If we're growling, if we're hissing, then we're gonna definitely take it a little bit slower. But if we find that they're sniffing under the door, they're wanting to play with each other, then that might be an indication that you can slowly start to do some so that they won't be in a conflict situation. You never want to leave new pets together until you know how they're going to get along with each other, because we don't want your old pet or your new pet to suffer any injuries, stress, or anxiety. So if it's a dog, let's say, introducing them on a leash slowly to the other animals, just in case for their safety and your other dog's safety. If there is a conflict, then you do have a little bit more control over the situation.
Right. Now, in a scenario where in your home you already have a dog, and for one reason or another you're introducing a new cat to a home where there's a dog, what are the steps that the pet owner should do to make that relationship work?
Again, slowly. We don't want any injuries from the cat or the dog, or yourself trying to break up a fight, right? Dogs tend to want to chase cats, and we don't want to stress out your cat. So again, you can try introducing them underneath doorways to see how their reactions to each other are. And then if the reactions are going well, then you want to introduce the dog to the cat on leash, because you don't want that dog to run and scare your existing cat, because that could set it off for a lifetime of being afraid of the dog. So we want to do it with control. We've got them on leash so that if they do attempt to go after the cat, then we have control of them and the cat has a way to escape.
Right. Now, these are, I guess, challenges where we always do see, like every cartoon we've seen where the dog chases the cat, just as you described, right? But if that's going to be their home situation, what are the warning signs that we should watch for that two pets are not getting along and that it's not working, whether that's two dogs or two cats or a blend?
So growling, biting, lunging, their hair can stand up on the back of their neck, their hackles go up. For dogs, tail tucking, cats also tail tucking. You want to look out for those signs, absolutely. And myself, I've been talking about my new dog, Kevin, from the Dominican. There is a little bit of an issue between him and my older dog, Karma, who's almost 15. And I've had to do it very slowly, very calculated, very controlled. And I do not leave them alone together at all, even though it's been 2 weeks. That's just not long enough. You need to make sure that if you ever leave your home, that both pets are going to be safe. So, you would hate to have an incident happen and you would feel responsible for it, I'm sure. So just to avoid those situations right now, Kevin either goes to somebody's house or comes with me on whatever adventure I'm going to have for that day until I can trust them that they're going to totally get along.
Thank you. And with that, we'll take another break to talk about our sponsors and supporters. We'll be back with more pet care talk with Dawn Drake on CooLife Podcast.
Those lonely days of lockdowns and isolation are gone for good. Go to www.therealthingdating.com. That's www.therealthingdating.com. It's time to share. Share your time, share your life, share your love. www.therealthingdating.com. Join for free. Upgrade at any time, starting at just $5.99 a month. www.therealthingdating.com. Because it's time. Becoming the Small Business Billionaire by Russell T. Dalton. Available on Amazon. Link in the description. $13.95 US. This is your guide to the possibility of making your dreams of generational wealth come true through small business ownership. Change your life and the lives of those you care for. Spiritual Warfare Prayers by John Evans, $13.99 US, available on Amazon. Link in the description. Putting on the spiritual armaments to thrive in this world. These are fresh prayers for today's world. $13.99 US, available on Amazon. See the link in the description. Spiritual Warfare Prayers. This is CooLife Podcast. Please remember to subscribe to CooLife on your streaming service and on YouTube as Hellenique Today. That's HELENIQUE Today. Because that helps us to bring more cool stuff to your ears. You're listening to the CooLife Podcast, We'll be right back.
And we are back on CooLife Podcast. I'm Eva John, continuing my conversation with Dawn Drake. Dawn, in a home where there are small animals like hamsters or little budgie birds, what precautions should be taken to make sure they're safe in a home where there are also cats and dogs?
So you want to make sure that they have safe, appropriate housing. I do have a bird. He has a cage where the dogs can see it, but they have no way to get to the bird. You want to make sure, especially in households with cats, if you're, let's say we have a rat for a pet, very good pets to have. They're very smart and intelligent. But, if you have a cat, you want to make sure that rat's housing is up so far that, your cat isn't even going to be able to go near it, because we don't want the cat to even knock the cage down and then be able to access the rat and put the rat at stress as well. So just making sure that everybody's safe, everybody has proper space. If they don't get along, we have spaces that we can divide them to make sure that everybody is safe in their little spot of your house.
Well, I mean, I recall we had birds and we had cats in our home, and I remember sometimes the birds would flap around and a feather would fall out of the cage onto the floor, and our cat would snap up those feathers and eat them and we thought those birds don't stand a chance if they ever come out,
Yeah.
So it's like we know it's that we're dealing with their instinct. Just even the smell from the feathers got our cat so excited that the first instinct was to eat the feathers.
And me personally, with having a bird, I wouldn't have a cat, because I know somebody that did end up having 2 birds killed by their cat. So me personally, I wouldn't put my bird in that situation, or I wouldn't put a cat in the situation where it wants to kill the bird. So me personally, I wouldn't have a cat because of that situation. And sometimes it's just so quick too, if the bird's out. And I do have concerns about my dogs too when the bird's out. So when the bird is out, I'm vigilant to make sure that the bird is with me, the bird's in a safe spot, and the dogs can't get at them.
Right.
So I guess if you do have the proper space and you wanted to make a room that's totally for your bird, and you do have a cat, that's something safe that you can do if you did want both animals.
Right. Well, you definitely want to keep them safe because it's definitely seems to be in their DNA
It does.
for cats to hunt birds. Now, Dawn, what is your best advice for having a peaceful household where there are multiple cats and dogs or different species in a home?
So, training is very important. Making sure that your dogs can understand basic commands, sit, stay, very good to have when you're dealing with a multiple pet household. Proper exercise, like I explained, if you've got a lab or a German Shepherd, a working class dog, they need to have exercise. And you are not going to have a peaceful household if you do not exercise a dog that is a working dog or a high energy dog. You will not have a peaceful household. So exercise is important, training is important, and nutrition is important. Having those right nutrients in your body for their energy, for their bone growth, for their brain health. Just like us, eating crap makes them, feel crappy. So the higher quality of food that you feed them, the better off they're going to be overall in their mental health, their physical health. It's all connected. So exercise, training, nutrition, very, very important.
Right. And just to clarify, since you've mentioned working class dogs, for people who may not realize or who are not 200 years old, that there are certain dogs that were bred to do certain jobs and tasks and activities. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that
Yep.
they just instinctively at this point are prepared for a certain amount of action and activity. I guess now, if you could give some descriptions on what were some of those jobs that dogs had.
Well, we're all familiar with police dogs, that many heroic police dogs have put themselves in the line of fire to save their handler. We know of search and rescue dogs, which are so important in natural disasters. We know of seeing eye dogs that are meant to assist their owners for day-to-day tasks, grabbing things for them, opening fridge doors for them, as well as for disabled people in wheelchairs. They help them do tasks like I just explained, grabbing them certain things. There's so many working class dogs out there that people get, like, let's say, Beagle.
Right.
So Beagle is a hunting dog. It is a working class dog, and a lot of people think, oh, nice cute Beagle puppy, but when they grow up, then they become destructive because they're a high energy dog that needs to work. So choosing like the best pet for your lifestyle is very important.
Thank you. Really good point. And I'm glad that you were able to identify the fact that people do have working dogs who then are pets that people expect to be docile and have no idea that these dogs
Yeah.
have been bred to be high energy and alert, active, and proficient at a certain job.
Right.
Now, with that, we are at the end of part 4 of the 4-part series with Dawn Drake, Veterinary Technician. So, Dawn, once again, can you tell me if somebody wants to reach out to you with further questions, what email address should they use?
They can email me at AnimalCareWithDawn@hotmail.com.
Thank you. And with that, we are at the end of part 4 of our 4-part conversation with Dawn Drake, Veterinary Technician. Thank you all for joining us through these 4 episodes. Until next time, I'm Eva John for CooLife Podcast. Bye.
And that was our show. Thank you for listening to the very end. Please remember to subscribe through your streaming service to get more access to our guest interviews. Also, please subscribe on YouTube to help support our podcast. Until next time, I'm Eva John for CooLife Podcast. Thank you for turning me on.